You guys don't always hear about some of the kind of foolishness we have to deal with behind the scenes and how jarring some of this stuff is. Now, for the record, I've met hundreds, if not more, people that watch this channel regularly.
Yes.
In person. You guys see me at the grocery store, see me at the airport, see me at the park, see me at church.
Come on.
All positive interactions. I've never had a negative interaction. I had one negative interaction at a conference. You want to know what the interaction was?
What was it?
This is years ago. It wasn't even negative. It was someone that cracked a joke about my Elijah Furtick video. And that was like the closest I've ever had to a negative interaction with someone who has watched the channel.
And they were like, why are you?
It wasn't even like that. It was like, you going to do another video roasting? Like, it was more like that.
It was like, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to roast kids now?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. And that wasn't even like, we hung out the rest of the conference and it was all good and there was no issues.
And Elijah Furtick's family.
And, well, I don't know about that. He's, we'll get him on the channel eventually. Shout out to the Furticks. Last Thursday, we did a video about Michelle Obama misspeaking.
Yes.
Or not properly putting a comma in her sentence regarding Marlon Wayans. Do you want to pull up the thumbnail of the video? Here's the video. Michelle Obama's slip-up sparks viral conspiracy. And the thumbnail says, as a black man. Now, for the record, there's both Michelle and Marlon Wayans on here.
Hello.
Okay.
So you don't know which one's saying it.
So we don't know which one's saying it. In the video, we played a 23-second clip. The first half of the clip, I said is where I had issue.
Yep.
We talked about how
Transformer stuff.
The ideology she's pushing and her and Marlon are pushing are dangerous, and to me, the real indictment, which I stand by 150%.
Hello.
We then went on to explain how silly this is still a thing. The big mic thing, it's stupid. It's dumb. And I literally say, I'm disappointed in her because I think anyone that starts saying this sort of stuff, in my opinion, is gone. Meaning their ideology. I'm not saying she's beyond redemption. And the other side is dumb for propagating this foolishness.
Yes.
We didn't attack her appearance. We didn't attack her femininity. I cracked a joke on Marlon wearing his hat. I thought it was a very tamed video. I thought it was a very reasonable video. The point of the video was L's on both sides.
Yeah,
L's on both sides. The far right still talking about this is stupid.
And they clipped it up to make it look like she said it.
She made it look like she was telling on herself.
Anyone with half a brain knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. And anyone with half a brain clearly understood that what we were saying was, this is bad on both sides. This is stupid, right?
Yeah.
Which I have no problem saying the right is bad. No problem. I think we do it pretty consistently once a week.
That's probably true.
At least once a week. Lately, it's been the Matt Walsh nonsense, right? Which I have no problem with debating him on some of his views.
He also got a stylist.
He got a stylist. Oh, shout out to
he's not wearing flannels anymore. He's got like a denim jacket and a hoodie.
Yeah. So the irony of this whole thing is, I have folks on the right who are mad at me for challenging the notion that young black men are violently disproportionate with violence.
Yeah.
So I have folks on the right saying the nastiest things to me. And then I have lunatics on the left saying that I can't even go near Michelle Obama. How dare you, Ruslan, even acknowledge that this is a conspiracy? It is racist down to its bones. Which, by the way, she's not the first lady that's been accused of being a transformer.
Yeah.
The lady of France, the first lady of France has been accused of this.
Yep.
Which is also stupid.
Yep.
Brought to you by your very own Candace Owens, which I've also challenged.
Yeah.
Right? So this idea that all of a sudden I'm on the far right of the spectrum and I'm enabling racist tropes, to me, is an indication that you have brainworms.
So what happened?
So what happened was, someone saw the video, didn't like it. They left a comment.
Okay.
I don't read the comments on Bless God Studios videos, generally, especially on a Thursday video. It's the weekend. I'm out. The person then proceeds, because their comment was held, the person then proceeds to write an email, not just to me, which, by the way, if you guys figure out a way to reach me on DMs, I'm very reasonable. I might have even listened to them.
Yeah.
Right? This person then proceeds to write an email to me, somehow finds Zach Sparazzo's personal email, finds my wife's personal email, finds the email of every single person on staff at my church.
That's crazy.
And like dozens of other public people, some of which are influencers, some of which I have nothing to do with.
Yes.
Jackie Hill Perry. I haven't spoke to Jackie Hill Perry in years in person.
So funny.
I'm friends with Preston.
Yeah.
Relevant Magazine. I have nothing to do with Relevant Magazine. I don't know anyone at Relevant Magazine.
That dude's CCs on the email is a microaggression.
CC'd everybody. And then I replied back to them privately and said, hey, like you were resourceful. You could have reached out to me directly. We could have had an email exchange about this, right? I think that this is framed. And so whenever anything opens with you as someone who's married to a black woman, like anytime you open up that conversation, like it tells me you're gone.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm very delicate with how I speak about women in general and specifically about black women.
Oh, same.
Right?
And I had to be more careful once I grew a ginger beard. Yeah. I lost points. So now I just go, wow.
So he emails.
Yeah.
And then and I reply back just to him. Very kind email, very reasonable email. And then he proceeds to send about a dozen or so emails to everybody in the CC list.
Yeah, he screenshotted your email and
sent it to everybody.
And was like, Ruslan thinks he's above public correction.
Right.
Well, I'm bringing it to light. And like was being all fancy. And it's like, nah, man, we're just trying to spam everyone. No one's replying to this.
No one cares.
No one cares.
No one
cares.
Like, we're all looking at this laughing.
He's like, oh, it's a good day to be unemployed, thinking he's taking you down.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
My church, which they don't watch all my videos, but they all watch that one after that, all watched the video and were like, this is the most reasonable take on this conversation ever. And then I went in the comments and I was just kind of poking around. I'm like, it's like 97% like ratio.
Yeah.
It's a regular video. Like there's a couple people that kind of had the same sentiment. I'd say less than 6. Yeah. Less than 6 people had the same sentiment.
Out of hundreds of comments.
Out of hundreds, I went back and forth with one of them. They were like, hey, you guys, the way, the joke about her voice, fine, fair enough. Clipped out the joke about her voice. Really generally positive comments. There were some people that
can't hold me down. You can't censor me.
That were really going after the conspiracy. Like they were really into the conspiracy, which I also rebuked. So I kind of went back and forth with some comments. And I think that the ability for people on the internet to think that they have a say-so in your life and then to harass you. This was harassment.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't like a nasty comment. We get those all the time.
Yes.
This wasn't a nasty DMs. I check those and respond to those sometimes. Right? And I often will go back and forth with people and try to better understand. This was like trying to push back against someone that they believe is untouchable. And I just don't play that game.
Come on, somebody.
The video is still up because they try to make it seem the very first email was like, I got a recording of this in case he tries to delete the video.
Yeah.
Video is not going down.
Yeah.
Thumbnail's not getting changed. Video's still up.
Clipped my joke.
Clipped out your joke. Right? But it just goes to show me that there's crazies on the internet that we get to deal with. Right?
Yeah.
And the people that got a lot of time on their hands. And there are people that will try and dox you and try to find your information and get really weird.
And then we can start a Give, Send, Go.
And then we can start a Give, Send, Go. So you guys can help me raise $1 million so I can move because my life is at threat. No, it's not that serious. But I think this idea that some people are untouchable, I just find so grotesque. Now, again, I get it.
Like a Michelle Obama.
Like a Michelle Obama.
Like you cannot talk about.
You can't talk about her. That's crazy. That's crazy talk to me. That's crazy talk to me. Like, she can be criticized. Her views are harmful. Her views are actually not in line with the science that's coming out. Like, in terms of gender-affirming care for minors. And so, I'm sharing this to you guys as a way, I guess, to kind of break the fourth wall and say that there are some things that we get to deal with that are pretty funny. And there are certain things we get to deal with that are kind of annoying. And this was one of those times where it was kind of annoying to the point where we weren't sure if this person was going to show up to the church. We weren't sure if they were going to continue.
They signed off as a fake name.
They used a fake name, fake email. And it was one of those things. But yeah, for the record, I think any creator's work should be viewed in context of their other work. So if you see me consistently as someone,
that's a good point,
who's going against the far right and against the racism on the far right, you should. And if I'm critical of someone you hold as like a queen, perhaps you should look at it in the context of my overall body of work on these issues.
Yeah,
that I will go and defend and be willing to debate a Matt Walsh on some of his views that I think are dangerous or harmful and create a.
Someone's mad that you said queen.
I mean, what else is, like, how else do we define that word? Yeah. How else do we define her? We can't speak about her because whatever intersectional hierarchy you think she falls into, remove the whatever conspiracy theories have been propagated about her that are stupid. I can't be critical of her views outside and the right's views at the same time. Like, this is a nonsensical worldview to me. And I think it's a worldview issue. Like, I really think there's a worldview issue of people who feel like some people can't be addressed because they fall within a specific demographic. And if you're even acknowledging that there's this conspiracy theory about her being men, which I openly disagreed with. And I openly said, you can't miss me with it's a dog whistle. How? I'm consistently advocating against the lunacy on the far right, whether that's from Candace Owens, whether that's from Matt Walsh, whether that's from Andrew Tate, whether that's from whoever, fill in the blank.
You think that just because you're married to a black woman, it means you're above racism?
I guess. Yeah, and so that's it's a really silly thing. Some people need to chill out when you have different opinions than yours. Favorite celebrities, there is no need to be bullied. Someone their celebrities not God. Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely, there's a difference between acknowledging and endorsing a certain thing. We acknowledge a lot of the nasty things said about Jewish people. We acknowledge those things, and then we redirect people to the truth.
And sometimes we're constantly learning.
Yes,
like, I learned you can't use the word tiny hats.
You learn? So a Jewish friend said, "Hey, tell Zach, not really cool to use tiny hats."
We're learning.
You're learning.
We're re-educating ourselves.
You're re-educating. We're gonna go to an indoctrination camp. Yeah. So anyway, someone said, "I'm married to a black woman, and I'm not above anything. The only one above all is God Himself." Yes,
come on, son.
For sure. Yeah. So that's my frustration. Is like, hey, as a creator, I think it's disingenuous to interpret something without the broader context of what's being discussed. Like, at least that week. Like, at least look at the other videos that week.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.